Hey my village, it's your Coach Mo back with a new video. So today's topic is going to be about raising teens. This topic was sent to me from one of my followers on Facebook as a topic that they want help with, and they a parent that's seeking to understand like how to raise teenagers because it is a struggle sometimes. Even though my son is a preteen, it get real. I have my brother, which is 11 years younger than me, and just being there and being one of the primary people in his life growing up, it's difficult to get to teenagers. But I'm going to give you guys some tips to help you out because y'all know I would do my research to figure it out. If I'm not 100% sure, but be 70% sure, then I'm going to do the research for the rest of the information. Because I don't have a teenager right now, and I have a preteen, I do see friends that all have teenagers or adult children that struggle with communication, connecting, bonding, disciplining, all that good stuff. So I have, let me see, about 10 plus tips to help you out. So bear with me. I'm not going to try to make this video too long, so I'm going to shut up with the extra talk and get straight to it. So when you're dealing with a teenager, you have to show interest in their interests because that's a way of connecting with them. So like if your teenager's into fashion, stuff like that, like um, you can be into sewing. That can be one of your bonding things. Like with my son and his dad, they bump heads a lot, but they both draw. So that's the connection for them. They both like gaming systems and playing video games. So that's a way they can connect with each other. He show interest in the gaming. He show interest in the drawing. That's how they connect. That's their love language, their language of how they meet each other in the middle. Also, encourage and like motivate them. So and give them compliments. Teenagers love compliments. Trust me. But encourage and compliment them. Let them know they're beautiful. Teenagers nowadays, they deal with so much more than I dealt with when I was a teenager. The pressure is so much deeper. They have access to so much more. Like we just started when I got in high school. That was like when the first flip phone came out, and we had the brick Nokia phones when I was like 13 when I got my first phone. They didn't even have flip yet until I got to high school. These kids going to high school with iPhones, all type of um, high technology, things like that, and people are cyberbullying. They're dealing with a lot more bullying. I don't understand why, but we didn't deal with that much bullying when we were kids. If they bully, like if someone talked about you, you talked about them back. But we had way more tough skin. These kids are committing suicide, and it's usually around the age of 13. So you got to really watch out and stay involved in your child life, especially the teenage ages, because that's the most critical time of their life. You don't know what they're struggling with in silence. So that's why I wanted to do this video to help parents be able to communicate, bond, things like that. Give them tips on how to raise or get along with. And it's crazy to say that, but it's just hard. Like when they get older, they start to separate farther from you, but you need to be able to reel them back in so that you can still guide them to the right direction. But offer advice and not tell them what to do. That is very important. A lot of times as parents, we want to control our kids and their future. You're going to go to college. You're going to do this. You're going to do this so you can get a good job. You're going to be in extracurricular activities because they want you to live the life they never got. And we make that mistake as parents. We do so much because we want them to have a better life than we had or more opportunities, because we're in a better position to where they don't experience struggles, stuff like that, everything that we went through. But that's not the right way to really go. You have to let them learn to make mistakes. You have to let them make decisions. You have to let them, because they're going to be adults soon. So if they don't know how to do anything on their own, what are they going to do when they go off to college? They're going to struggle. They're going to suffer. If they can't, like I posted a video a while ago about the things that your kids should know before they turn 18, how to do finance, financial literacy, banking, paying bills, just having those different responsibilities, cook a meal, do laundry, grocery shop. A lot of kids go to college and don't know how to do these things. even though we're in quarantine and they're not on campus. Well, some schools are, but they need to know how to make those choices on their own. Ask about their future. That's another thing. That's why I made my breakthrough cards. It have questions about the future, like what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? So that you can help guide them, not tell them what to do, but guide them to figuring out their purpose. Sometimes we ain't even figured out our purpose, but we can do the research to try to help them figure out their purpose. To ask them, what are you most passionate about that you can do anytime, whether you get paid for it or not? That's usually leading to your purpose. Like me, I can talk to people, I can coach people, give people advice, even if I'm not getting paid for it. You see, I give a lot of free content and stuff like that every year, for years, on social media. So it's something I love doing and I'm very passionate about, whether I get paid for it or not. But it always pay off in the end. But just try to help seek what they want to do in the future, because you don't want them to set themselves up for failure and not have a plan, especially when they're getting close to graduating high school. If they even want to go off to college, do they want to be an entrepreneur? Do they want to go to trade school? Because there's options. Let them have some type of independence. So if they want to get a job, like me and my sister, we at 13, maybe I think we were 14 years old. We went and got our own job. We didn't even tell my mom. We just came home. Can you sign this work permit? And I got a job, but as long as you sign the work permit, then I can work for the school district. We were making $3,000 every summer from 10th grade, 11th, 12th grade. People were like, "How did y'all get a job at the school every year?" We had our own money, and then that's when we did a bank account, had a debit card, and then we worked the 11th and 12th grade at Chuck E. Cheese on the weekend. It was just a fun job. Most of the cheerleaders worked at. But we paid for our own cheerleading uniform. We paid for our own extracurricular activities, things like that. We had money to spend for every Friday after the football games or the basketball games, going out to eat with our friends. We had our own car. But my mom let us explore and be independent and make those decisions to work. We didn't have to, but it was something that was our choice because we wanted to be able to buy our own school clothes. She said, if you want to wear what you want to wear, those labels, you got to buy it yourself. So we was like, okay, I'm going to get a job. We're not scared of working, but we got that from her. She's very ambitious. She's very much a hard worker. She went to school and worked and raised 3 kids as a single mom. So we like, well, if she could do it, I could do it. I can go to school and work, and we were straight A students, so it was like, why not? One other thing you can do is tell them you love them often. This is something I literally struggled with when I was younger, because I can remember more times in my adulthood than my childhood ever hearing, probably on one hand, how many times my mom told me she loved me. My dad, every chance he got, every time I talk to him, even now, I'm 34, and every time I talk to him, every week, a few times a week, I love you. He texts you, good morning, I love you, sweetheart. Like, I hear it from my dad because he was more affectionate than my mom. My mom would tell my brother, but she didn't tell me and my sister. So the girls, we didn't get that affection. We got it from our dad. And it's the opposite for my brother. He get it from my mom. He didn't get it from my dad. But it's kind of crazy. But it was something I longed for. And so my son tells me like 20 times a day, Mom, I love you. I love you. And if you don't say it back, he's in his feelings. Mom, I said I love you. You're like, I love you too. The last 20 times you done said it. But I make sure that I say I love you to him, because I know how important it was for me to hear that as a kid and know that my parents love me. But your teen needs to hear that, because you don't want them to go seeking that love from someone else from all the wrong places. So definitely try to say it as often as you can, because that can go a whole different direction. So it is very important to let them know and remind them that you love them and show them. Don't just say it and it don't feel connect. The connection don't connect with the words. So like your actions don't say match what you're saying. So you have to show them you love them. My son, he literally gives me a hug like 4 or 5 times a day. Can I have a hug? Mom, I love you. Can I have a hug? And I laugh at it because my boyfriend be like, "You're the same way. He learned it from you." And I'm like, "I know." Because I'm the same way with him. Be like, "Hey, give me a hug. Like, I want a hug. I need a hug today." He would drive 40 minutes across town to come give me a hug. But my son is just like me, very affectionate. And not, I teach him as a boy to not be ashamed to show your emotions, not be ashamed to be in tune with that side of you, that affectionate side, because we lack too many men that struggle with that. Another thing is listen to your kids. They will tell you. Kids are so brutally honest. Teens, non-teens, preteens, children, they are brutally honest. Listen to when they get mad or have an attitude with you. Even if they're being disrespectful, just listen and hear them out, because that's when the truth come out. That's when those true feelings they've been bottling up come out. So make sure you're listening to what they're saying, because they could be crying out for help. Notice the signs of depression. I have videos about that. The signs that your child is depressed. I might include it in the description of this video, but make sure you are listening to them. Another one is meet them in the middle. I know people will tell you, I'm not negotiating with my child, but at this point, if it's a teenager, they're getting close to being an adult. It's time for them to learn some things. They need negotiation skills. Because it might be beneficial for them. So they need some practice. Why not practice with you? But just meet them in the middle. Something like with my kid, if he's not doing well in school or something, then we don't have a phone during the week. You don't get video games, TV, phone during the week, but you get it on the weekend. Or if you're doing amazing during the week, then you can earn it back. We negotiate. Do this, and then you can get it. That's so simple. We don't got to argue about it. He know what's up. He know what the requirements are to get it back or to earn it. If he wanted the new PlayStation, I'm like, well, let me see that report card. We're going to meet in the middle. If your grades are good, then you get it. If they're not, then bye-bye. No PlayStation for you. Check in with them. So what me and my son do, we have family day every Saturday. So every Saturday is like our let's talk, mom and son conversation, we bonding, or let's go to breakfast together. But we're going to talk, and I'm going to check in. How are you feeling about school? How are you feeling about this? Have you talked to your dad? When was the last time you heard from him? Are you talking to your siblings? When was the last time you reached out to your siblings? Things like that, because I want to understand how he feel about it, because I know he's in his feelings about his dad and his siblings. OMG, you guys. My dad didn't call me. It's been a week. But you could call him too. So, I check in with him. Like, how are you feeling? Are you good? Things like that, because I want to make sure his mental health is good. So we do mental health check-ins once a week on Family Day. Also, use humor with kids. This is the way I get to connect with my son. We joke around, things like that. I'll poke his belly, like he's getting a little bigger. I'm like, boobies, like when you get a man boob. But we joke around all the time, tickle him, chase him, let's race. But I use humor and laughter as a connecting thing for us, because he's like, Mom, you're so silly, and I think he's silly as ever as well. But that's our bonding. We get to laugh and have fun, and it changes the energy, it changes the vibes, everything, because then it's positive. He's happy, he's energetic, then he's more willing to open up to me and communicate. When it's something that you're struggling with, far as like a dispute, argument, a situation. It could be something like, oh, they want to wear weave or hair color and you won't let them, or they want to have a boyfriend and you say no. Table the issue if you need to and come back to it. If it's making you really, really angry, table it. Just say, okay, I know right now it's heated. Let's come back to this. We'll talk about it at another time. Is that okay with you? Let's give it a few days. Let me think about it. Something like that. Um, for one, it's you have to know how your teen is because there's different types of teens. So there's a good teen who follow all the rules. They get good grades. You don't have to be on them about anything. They help around the house, things like that. Those teens you don't too much have any problems with, and they're usually more open to discussing things with you. You're a little more close with them. But then you have those teens that are pretty much rebellious teens. They always mad, always got a smart mouth. They don't follow the rules at all. They don't listen to anything, and they do what they want. Those are the teens you got to watch out for. Those are the teens you got to get in check, and those are the teens you will pretty much bump heads with often. One thing with those type of teens are there's something deeper. You might want to get them counseling, a therapist, or do family counseling with them to see why they're so angry. It can be that they're being molested. It can be a lot of different factors. Someone's bullying them. That they're missing a loved one, and you might play a part in that. Like if their other parent is not involved in their life. Because usually they're not rebellious when it's a two-parent household. It's always something deeper. So seek to understand what's going on and really try to get to that person. Really ask them, do you want to talk to someone? Even if it's not me, like let them know they have the freedom to be able to have a conversation with someone to get help if needed. Then you have the sneaky teen, which is a lot of teens. Sneak out. I used to be, well, I was the good teen. Me and my sister, we didn't get in trouble. My mom was pretty lenient, letting us make choices at a very young age. We got to do whatever we wanted. We knew our limits. We didn't have a curfew, but we knew we would come in the house before the street lights come on because we know our mom is old-fashioned. But we got to do a lot of stuff at an early age. We were the only kids in high school having co-ed sleepovers with the basketball players. One season at our house, football players. We were the cheer squad. Had the cheerleaders over. My mom rule was like, just keep the doors open because we lived in a townhouse, so upstairs, downstairs. So both of our rooms were upstairs and right across from my mom. So she's like, just they can come over, y'all can all sleep in the room, or the boys downstairs, girls upstairs, but keep the doors open. She keep her door open, she can see straight in my room. But you have some teens that are very sneaky, who look innocent. So they're really quiet, they keep to themselves, but they have that side of them where you like, what are you up to? You just give that look. But you do have to watch those. Try to talk to them, get them to open up and break that shyness so that you can get in and get some information from them because they are dangerous. Being sneaky, quiet, because don't let that fool you. Be like, oh, that's a good girl. She's super quiet. Yeah, she's sneaking out at night. That'd be the one to take your keys while you sleep. Go on a joyride with her friends, or you drop off at school and they never make it to class. Like, you have to watch those. But hopefully this information was helpful for you guys. Definitely leave a comment down in the comments of other topics you guys want me to talk about. And until next time, Coach Mo out.